Good evening and welcome. For the next half hour, we'll be learning more about Access Incorporated and specifically the Housing Department. Over the next half hour, we will learn more about Access Incorporated and the Housing Department. The second portion of the half hour, we'll be learning about a special program being delivered by Access Incorporated. It is the OHSI, the Oregon Homeownership Stabilization Initiative, and you'll learn more about how perhaps you can qualify for some mortgage payment assistance. That's coming up in the second half of the program, but first, let's meet our guests and learn more about Access Incorporated. Joining us tonight, Gary Miller, the Executive Director for Access Incorporated, and Cindy Dyer, the Housing Director. Thank you very much for joining me tonight.
Thank
How
you.
are you?
Good.
Good.
All right, very good.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, you're more than welcome. Access Incorporated has been a community action agency in Jackson County since 1976. And I think when people think of Access, for the most part they think of nutrition help, food, that sort of thing, but it really is much more, isn't it, Gary?
It is. And what I'd like to do, Tom, is just give a brief overview of our programs and what we do, and I thought I would start with who we serve, and then we'll give an overview of the programs. But I think just to broad brush, what we do is food and shelter. That's what we really try to focus on strategically, especially in an environment of scarce resources, but also the community needs assessments that we do. Food and shelter are usually in the top 1, 2, or 3. So that's what we do. So let's take a look at some of the slides and we'll talk a little bit about Access.
Others would become discouraging and sometimes overwhelming. The reward is making a difference in someone's life today. Today, we are working harder than ever. Our mission is simple and focused. Through partnerships with a caring community, Access provides immediate and long-term solutions that lead people in need towards self-sufficiency.
We serve seniors. We also serve low-income folks as well as people with disabilities. And the assistance that we provide, and what I wanted to focus on is not just our programs, but what we do to help people here. So let's take a look at those. With our weatherization services, we provided those to 268 people, and so we do energy assessments, we do energy education as it relates to weatherization, and your standard doors, windows, insulation, vapor barriers, roofs. Probably 75–80% of those homes that we provide services to are mobile homes.
Okay, yeah. So, people who are having trouble keeping heat in, when you say weatherization, specifically, what are you looking at?
Well, number of folks that we served.
Yeah, or just, when you're weatherizing their mobile homes and making sure that their windows and doors and all that are...
Well, we do a energy assessment.
Okay.
So we kind of isolate, is this the best way to save energy and lower their bill? Is it through insulation, or would replacement of windows help?
Got it.
Or a new roof? That's what we do with that energy audit.
Okay. Very good. Yeah, very good. You've got nearly more than 9,000 families with the energy assistance, and 732 families with housing assistance.
That's correct. And the housing, we have over 200 units of housing here in Southern Oregon. A lot of people find that surprising, but our weatherization, energy assistance, and housing are all key programs that we have, and they would fall, when I say shelter, those are the ones that we would be talking about as it relates to services that we do deliver here in Jackson County.
Very good.
Food assistance, I guess you could say this is our flagship product, and what we're best known for. In fact, many people call us Access Food Share, but it is a very important part of what we do here. We provide food to over 3,200 families in Jackson County, about 2.7 million pounds of food a year, of which about 2.3 million are donated. That we do provide. So the community involvement through our network of 22 pantries is very important. And of course we've got this time of year, we have over 100 food drives that are taking place. And one that kind of a signature event that it's become for us is Greystone Court. And that will be kicking off next Monday. With the food drive.
And Greystone Court is the series of houses that is a cul-de-sac that is well lit up. Obviously, cars line up for blocks and blocks this time. And and usually, I think people expect that food drive probably to start when the lights go up the day after Thanksgiving. But it does not. In fact, it starts up on the 20th.
On the 20th.
Yeah.
And it'll run through Christmas Eve. And so we'll have Santa, and we'll have an elf and a reindeer, who knows, but it'll be fun.
Yeah.
But the big attraction is the lights, and then the residents there came up with this way to help access.
Yeah. A couple things stand out to me.
Yeah.
One is that not all the food is donated. Correct?
Correct.
You said a portion of it is. Where does the other that's not donated come from?
We are a part of the Oregon Food Bank Network. There's approximately 20 agencies around the state like Access, and we receive about half of our food. Now, much of that is free, but we do buy food from the Oregon Food Bank. And when I say buy, it's primarily to pay for transportation costs and warehousing distribution of the product. So half comes from the Oregon Food Bank, and then the other half is through community, through individuals, through local markets. We're very fortunate to have that kind of support here for our program.
Yeah, and the other thing that stands out is this is year-round support that you're giving. Certainly this time of year seems to be the biggest in terms of donations from the community, but it's something that is year-round that is needed.
Yeah, it's year-round, and actually we'll probably see a spike in January as far as demand. But again, Sherman Wanda Olsrud, just to highlight them, they'll be delivering a 42-foot trailer of food this coming Friday. They also help with the Mail Tribune and Food for Less with the food bag program that we're conducting this month. So a lot of things going on.
Yeah, that's wonderful. All right. Transition into housing at this point, and Cindy, or
I think this is important, Tom, just to mention this before we switch to Cindy, is we do a lot of work with seniors, people with disabilities, and referral. We pride ourselves on working with other agencies and complementing what they do. For example, if someone comes to Access and they need a service we don't provide, we have an extensive way to refer them to the proper agency. And then folks with disabilities, we are very proud again of our housing, because we do provide housing for folks with disabilities, specialize, and in many cases we have in-house support for them.
Yeah, I think it may be surprising to the community just how much housing opportunity is provided by Access.
Right.
I know when I started to look into it further, I was surprised as to what we have right here in Medford as you're driving through Jackson County and seeing the places that are provided.
Right.
And Cindy, do you have more on that?
Well, let's kind of get into the housing programs a little bit. When we talk about the housing programs, we actually have quite a few different programs under that umbrella. And our rental assistance, again, sort of a broad brush at that, is that we have programs that we call more the emergency assistance programs. So those are programs that are designed to prevent evictions. help people get into housing. So we have some deposit assistance programs, we have some rental assistance programs, and various things throughout the year. And of course, all of this is available due to limited funding, whatever we have throughout the year, but it's ongoing, and of course there's a tremendous need right now as well. There always is, but there is really a spike in need right now. So that's an ongoing program that we have. Our home purchase assistance program is a smaller program, but one of the areas that we look at is we want to educate home buyers, and we've been doing this for a number of years with the premise that, you know, the more educated buyer you are, the better borrower you are. As we can see through the recession and what's happened, that there wasn't enough of that probably all the way around the whole nation. But the home purchase assistance, so we help with, we teach the ABCs of home buying, which is an education program. Like I said, we teach that both Jackson and Josephine County. We also have some down payment assistance programs from time to time as money comes available. Not a lot of that right now, though. Housing counseling, that's a broad brush, but we're certified HUD housing counseling agency, and that's certified by HUD, and we have to meet certain requirements to become certified. And what we do is we do foreclosure prevention intervention counseling, which we'll talk about later. We also do the home purchase assistance programs and education. We also are a reverse mortgage counselor, so we're able to do that as well.
How do you get the word out? You know, if people are not aware of the programs that you offer, you know, those three that we have sitting right there, how do you get the word out, and the other is how can people reach out to you and ask for assistance?
The word, of course, you know, we have our website, we have our mailers, word of mouth is a big one. Shows such as this is how we get the word out oftentimes. When it comes to more specific things like the housing counseling pieces, we are on the HUD websites, we're on the state websites, we're on the home ownership help and the foreclosure hotlines, the Hope Now across the state. So that's primarily how the word gets out. But obviously there's still folks that aren't aware of all the services that we offer. And then we have our property management and affordable housing, and as we were talking about earlier, the affordable housing, we actually develop affordable housing, and we do that for ourselves. We do that in partnership with other nonprofits, and that's the primary goal, is to make sure that there's enough or more affordable housing for folks living in our communities. We have an emphasis on housing for people with disabilities and for seniors, but we do have family housing. And we, to date, have developed over 220 units of affordable housing, so we're very proud of that as well. This is some of the affordable housing that we have throughout Jackson County. Like I said, they're all different sizes of properties.
Very good. So if someone does need assistance, and we saw a list of those homes on the screen previously, what can someone do if they need assistance with housing? How can they reach out to you?
Well, they're going to call our main number, which is at 541-779-6691. And depending on what type of assistance, they'll be prompted through whether they're going to go for rental assistance, or they're interested in the home purchase assistance, or they're in foreclosure or having some difficulties there. So there's different areas that they can go and be streamlined into the proper department to get that information.
Yeah. And right now with the recession and what's been going on in recent years, are you able to handle the load? Are you extremely busy? What is the situation like?
The simple answer is no. I mean, there's a tremendous need out there. We do what we can. We have increased our capacity to help folks that are having some difficulties. And there's a number of different avenues out there for people to explore. But we try and do the best that we can. You know, we have counselors that are available, and we have some new programs coming online. So, yeah, we definitely want to reach out and get as many people some assistance that that's out there who's needing it.
Okay, yeah. So this is probably a good time then to transition into the new program that is coming out there, and how Access has been asked to help deliver this program, not only in Jackson County, but in Josephine County as well. And that is the OHSI, or the Oregon Homeownership
Stabilization
Initiative. Thank you. I was working on it before and
She did good.
didn't quite get there completely. In short, there's about 4 or 5 programs within that, one of which is the Mortgage Payment Assistance Program. And once again, people in Jackson and Josephine County will be assisted. Can you explain more?
Yeah, the state of Oregon earlier this year was awarded funds. We were one of 8 states that was awarded funds due to what they deemed as the hardest hit states because of the recession. And that was a combination of factors: high unemployment, loss of home values, and a whole formula. And so over the summer, when those funds first came to the state, we had to develop, when I say we, it was sort of a collective effort between the state and then just all the counties in the state, deciding where some of the greatest needs were. And some of these programs were modeled after other states. But the Oregon Homeownership Stabilization Initiative, which is what it's now called, as you said, the mortgage payment assistance is the first program to roll out under that initiative. And we're just now getting away with that. Our office is just opened today, as a matter of fact. The online applications did become available last Friday. But what that program is designed for, it's designed to help people that are struggling to pay their mortgage, and it's for a maximum of up to 12 months or $20,000, whichever comes first. For Jackson County, there will be 276 slots available at any given time. So what that really means is right now the online applications are available at the website, which is the OregonHomeownerHelp.org. And people go online, they fill out the applications. Those applications come back to the local sites, and we then will need to finalize the submission of those applications. Make sure they're complete, all the information's there, supporting documentation is submitted. So between now and January 14th, those online applications, that's the open enrollment period. So it's not a first-come, first-served program. So we want to make sure that every eligible homeowner, every interested homeowner has the ability to apply. And we have sites in both counties to help people through that process. We also have public computers available in both sites. So if somebody doesn't have internet access or doesn't have a computer, needs help on the computer, they can come down to our sites and we can assist them that way as well. So we're making every avenue available so that people can apply for assistance. What happens after the open enrollment period is the state will do a random drawing, and each drawing is, there's a drawing in each county. So people applying in Jackson County are only going to be pulled from the Jackson County applications. So, and when I say 276 slots for Jackson County and 216 slots for Josephine County at any given time, that means that based on the amount of money that's available, that's how many families that can be served at the amounts that I previously mentioned. If somebody for some reason becomes ineligible during the term of their assistance, they found a better job, they've decided to sell, whatever the circumstance is, we don't lose that slot. So we're able to pull from those applications. So it's very likely that we're going to serve more than the 276 families. But it's certainly a great program to roll out. And then there'll be a few more programs rolling out after the first of the year. They will be different. This is the largest of all of the programs that are rolling out, but they're all foreclosure prevention programs. And so we're pretty excited about it because it's definitely needed. Yeah.
A lot of great information there. We will be putting the website up on the screen at some point in the show. Good. We'll also be putting up the temporary offices that have been set up by Access, one in Medford and one in Grants Pass. And so we'll have those addresses as well and get the information out there. First thing that comes to mind, and maybe this is a question that's going to be hard to answer, but who qualifies? How do you know if you qualify? And
actually, that's not so hard of a question. Actually, if they go onto the website, you know, the website's also a resource for all kinds of information. All of those questions can be answered on the website. So there's questions and answers. There's a simple eligibility test, and it really is just simple. So if you don't want to get into the full application, you can do this simple eligibility test. But primarily, it's based on income. So there is an income factor. It's a little bit higher than what most programs normally are. So that's easy enough to find out. It has to be their primary residence. So they actually have to occupy the home that they're actually needing the assistance with. So those are some of the primary. There are some other factors in there. Some of the things that we're seeing right now is that you do have to have a servicer financed, or a mortgage that's financed and serviced by a servicer. So it can't be an owner carry loan. And that is one thing that we are noticing right now, that we do have a few people that, you know, have the owner carry type loan program, and that's not going to work for them. They also cannot have a foreclosure date, an actual auction date, before February 1st, 2011.
What year are we?
Yeah, 2011.
Okay.
So, because we need time to be able to get this all through, and if they have a foreclosure date before that time, then we're not going to make that timeline. So those are some of the criteria, but there's a whole list, but they can find out all kinds of information. Yeah. In fact, if they do go on the website for information, or they can sign up for a newsletter as well, so they would get information about the upcoming programs as well. So, well, if they're not eligible for this one, there might be a chance that they may be eligible for one of the other programs that may be coming online sometime, we hope, in the first quarter of 2011.
Okay, so this is the first program out there. Open enrollment, it started 5 days ago, so it started on the 10th.
Yep.
People could access online at that time, but now with the offices opening today, they'll be able to go in and get some help and meet with someone if they prefer to communicate that way. Those offices, I should open many hours, 7 to 8, is that correct? So 7 in the morning to 8 at night. Is that correct in Medford?
Monday through Friday, and 9:30 to 4 Saturday and Sunday. So 7 days a week.
Yeah,
yes.
Very
so we're
good.
really trying to make it available for folks to come in and get assistance. Yeah.
And the goal is to get as many people who do qualify enrolled.
Yes.
So everyone eligible has an opportunity at this, and it's, once again, not first come, first serve. So they'll close the enrollment on the 14th of January. That's the last day to enroll. And then what happens after that? Do they start drawing names after that, or? They do.
And there's not a specific date. It's just sometime soon thereafter. And the reason I say that is because we have all asked the agencies, administering these programs, that they close the open enrollment date on the 14th, but to please give us a few days to make sure that we can get all the applications submitted. So it'll be sometime that following week is what the plan is, that they will start doing the random selections. And then the selected applicants will be notified, and we'll get the assistance started as soon as possible. So it's a pretty aggressive timeline, but it's necessary.
Yeah, and you mentioned there will be assistance for 12 months or $20,000, whichever comes first.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Tom, I'd like just to elaborate on a couple of things Cindy was sharing with us. One is folks that don't have computers. We have computers in the 2 locations. So people can come in and we can assist them. And also, we're really there to service people, to help them be successful in their application. So if they are rejected for whatever reason, we could explain why. In many cases, just going through the program ourselves to see how it works. It could be something very simple, like we have answers like, do you own your own home? And they'll answer no, because the bank owns it. They're making payments, but they really are serviced by a bank. And so our folks will work with them to go through and explain, or and perhaps correct the answer so that they can be qualified.
Very good. You've got the clicker right now as you're working the PowerPoint. I want to be able to get up the website. I don't know if you have to go forward or back on this one, but I want to make sure that we've got... There you go. All right, so there's the office that has been set up in Medford, and it's at 1112 Progress Drive, Suite 105, near the DMV. So it's right there on Biddle and Progress Drive. The phone number, 541-858-3317, and you can see the website below as well. Email access as well. And if you go to the next slide, we'll get the Grants Pass location, 101 Northwest A Street, Suite 112. That's actually inside the City Municipal Building. And the phone number, 541-450-6190.
That's correct.
And then there's the Access website right there that you mentioned, and your phone number as well, in case people really have any other questions. How is it that Access got chosen to deliver this program? Is it?
Well, a number of factors, but probably one of the biggest ones is because we do have a role as a certified HUD housing counseling agency. So that is one of our specialties, and we do have very experienced and trained counselors that have been working the foreclosure process for quite some time now. So that's probably the primary reason. We are considered one of the regional housing centers, so our housing programs, unlike many of the other programs at Access, actually do cover Jackson and Josephine County. So that's why Josephine County was also selected. So we are one of the only foreclosure counselors in Southern Oregon, at least in Jackson and Josephine County. Yeah.
What do you see as the biggest challenge in trying to reach that goal of getting everyone registered?
Time.
Yeah.
Time. This is a very short duration program, and the timelines were given to us, so we didn't select those timelines. And that's why we want to do everything that we can to make sure as many applicants that are eligible have the opportunity to apply. But time, that's been the challenge, is we want to get this out. The state wanted to make sure that it was rolled out as quickly as possible as well, because we want to try and help people before it's too late. And so time is probably our biggest factor right now, is just making sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
We expect to see and process between 5,000 and 6,000 applications between the two counties. So that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to recap again, 276 families will be helped in Jackson County, 215 in Josephine County. And you had mentioned something in there, as someone's going through this assistance program, fall out for whatever reason, another family or another application will be picked up?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
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 Until the money's used up.
Yeah, very good. And this really feeds right into how Access really serves the community from the housing side of things, doesn't it, in terms of assistance? Yeah, yeah. Well, we've got about another minute to talk about this before I want to show a PSA that we've put together to get the word out there as well. Yeah, any final comments on this program and what you want to make sure the community is aware of?
Well, just encouraging people again to go online and take a look at it and apply. It's not a program that most people, when they think of Access, they think, oftentimes people will say, oh, I just won't qualify. But I think this program is different. This is different. The income levels are different. The circumstances are certainly different. So it is a new program, and I really would encourage people to take a look at it.
Perfect. Well, here's an opportunity now to take a closer look at this program, a PSA that's been put together to help inform the community about the mortgage payment assistance program.
The fabric of a community can be found as people help others when they need it the most.
Never before has this been more true than right now in Southern Oregon.
With a hand up, Access helps families, disabled, and seniors with affordable housing and foreclosure counseling to keep them in their homes.
Since 1976, Access has been helping. With your help, we can help even more.
Go to access-inc.org and see how you can help people towards self-sufficiency.
All right, and starring Gary Miller in that one, so great job. But a spot that was well put together, and I think it comes across as information that I don't think the community really is aware of in terms of how much you help in terms of housing. All right, well, we've got to wrap this up. Thank you very much, Gary Miller, Executive Director at Access Incorporated, Cindy Dyer, Housing Director, and once again encourage you to look into more into the OHSI Mortgage Payment Assistance Program. Go to the Access Incorporated website or the other websites that we put up on your screen. I'm Tom Resepke. Thanks for joining us this half hour.
Thanks, Tom.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah,
Come across well.